I wanted to ask you now, your life has been a truly an extraordinary journey. From your childhood, where you studied under the street light, to a level that hardly 0.001% of the scientists can ever hope to achieve. You have traveled that journey over this period of time, and it's a fairy tale journey. I mean, it's extraordinary journey. What are the lessons you draw from it, and what is it that you would like to tell our audience about that journey?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, you are right. I studied under streetlights. I was born in a very poor family. My father died when I was 6. I was born in a village called Mashel. That's how I'm Mashelkar. And my mother was illiterate, brought me to Mumbai in search of a job. I remember I walked barefoot until I was 12, studied under streetlights, as you said. I studied in a municipal school in Marathi medium, by the way, and didn't make a difference. I want to specially give this message to all those who are studying
Yes, yes,
in Marathi medium
yes,
in
yes,
municipal schools. It
yes,
doesn't make a difference.
yes, yes.
But because we are talking about science, I must narrate a little story about how I got into science.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, what happened was, I, as I said, I was in municipal school. I passed 7th standard with some 88% marks, and I was seeking admission. But what happened
Yes.
was that the fees, including uniforms and books and everything, included 21 rupees. And my mother didn't have 21 rupees. So I remember our borrowing that money from a housemaid in Chowpatty, which was her saving. She gave it, and by that time it was too late, and I missed getting admission in top schools like Wilson, Aryan, and so on and so forth. So I went into a poor school, which was meant for poor students coming from those communities. But that poor school, Ravi, had rich teachers, and one of them was my science teacher.
Mm.
And in life, you always have wow moments. He gave
Yes.
me the wow moment, I'll tell you. He believed actually in not just chalk and talk,
Mm.
but he wanted us to see and learn. For example, soap making. He didn't go to the board and write the equations, but he took us to a factory by tram those days.
How exciting.
And
Yeah.
it was Hindustan Lever, and showed us how to make the soap, right?
Yes.
From the time you take the ingredients and
Yeah.
finally packing. It was fascinating. I was just in 9th standard. And like that, Wimco factory, how to make mailboxes and stuff. So what he did one day was he took us out into the sun. He had a convex lens in his hand and wanted to show us how to find the focal length. So he had the convex lens, he moved it up and down, and when the brightest spot was there, the paper burnt. When the paper burnt, he turned to me for some reason and he said, like this, if you focus, you can achieve anything. Ravi, that did two things for me. The
Yes.
first is I said, my God, science is so powerful, I must
Yes.
become a scientist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and secondly, philosophy of life. You
Yes.
focus and you can achieve
Yes.
anything, particularly for the young generation now.
Yes.
I want to emphasize
Yes.
because you are either doing this or this.